chat's got soul. From the gavel to the gas, we're watching it all. Covering the courtroom, big case or small. Laugh when we can, cry when we must, but it's all real talk, you can count on us. We're not the pros, just fans who care. With popcorn in hand and a comfy chair. And every twist, we're right there. Together like we're all in the witness chair. This is the Broken Baker, where the trials come alive. Where the chat is wild and the vibes survive. We're watching the worst of what people do, but we keep it light, yeah, that's our truth. It's the only place for crime, and it feels just right. We bring the justice talk into your night. So hit that stream, don't miss the call. At the Broken Baker, we cover it all. Oh yeah. We're just flaming with the view, but we ask the things the world wants to. Digging through the facts, side by side. Even when it's dark, we bring the light. No clickbait, no fake feels, just truth and the highs and the reels. With the chat that roasts and rise, we're just here for the case and the vibes. This is the Broken Baker, where the stories unfold. With a smile in the heart, even when it's cold. Yeah, we cover the bad with a wink and a grin. Where the real talk starts, come on, jump in. It's the only place to be, can't you see? For trials and truth, it's BBTV. The Broken Baker, where the trials come alive. Yeah, we'll be here, trial of the trial. Yeah.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whoever you are, wherever you're married. It's morning with 45. And nothing going on but the rent and my new chair from IKEA. It's not a chair. No, I know, Marissa, you don't have to yell at me. It's I don't know what you call it. In Danish, it's a taburet. I don't know what that's about, but I'm not allowed to call it a chair. Marissa will yell at me because it's a Monday. I was having such a good day and I was looking forward to streaming, but hey, Sue. Oh, the same that comes out of the mouth of Zach. It's better, yeah, because it's bouncy. And I also got a standing pad, so now my little foofies won't hurt as much. But it's really annoying. Someone is cutting wood right outside of my window. Hey, Peace Geek. But I was reading on the Twitch thread. Yes, I don't do anything else. And I saw I think it's a very important. I'm going to go out and bust that. That's really annoying. I saw this tweet by Paula. You might know her as Juror number 11. And I think a lot of people should read this on both sides, because this explains exactly what jury duty is. A lot of people have been going on and on and on and on about. I need to close my window. Oh my God, this is loud. That's annoying. But a lot of people have been going on and on and on about, oh, do you know Colin? Do you know this? But that's not what jury duty is about. And I've been reading all of these idiots that, well, the defense cheated the jury and the jury is stupid. And I think it's such a disrespect for people who spent 8 weeks sitting in a courtroom doing what we asked them to do. Look at the facts, look at the charges, take the charges, take the facts. If they don't line up, then it's not guilty. If they line up, it's guilty. The one thing they're not there to do is solve the crime. They are not Matlock. And sadly, a lot of people kind of put it on the jury that they should know that someone did something in the garage or basement or wherever they believe John was killed. But that's not for the jury to decide. That's for the cops, and we know they won't look at it. So I'm going to read this because I think it's important that everyone hear what it really is to be a juror. And Sandy, thank you so much. Good morning, all. Your streams have been so hilariously lately, Baker. Thank you. Well, I'm trying. I have had some good content, and that's important. You can make when you can have fun. Thank you so much. And now I spilled my chocolate. I'm blaming Marissa. It's because Marissa has been yelling at me all morning. Now I spilled my. I had a hot cocoa today because it's cold out, and I've been in the IKEA. IKEA is it's kind of like Mordor. No one wants to go there because it's Swedish. And I spent an hour walking around just to get a chair and a pad to stand on, because nothing is easy. Well, I also got. Look how fancy I am. I got my lights finally set up to automatic in here as well. But everything goes wrong. Yes, Crispy, you did. But Paula is a rock star, and she actually tells people what it is to be a juror, and people don't get it. Hey, anime. Nah, yeah. I'll been called worse. Exactly. And so many people should go back and look at his interview as well, because, well, why didn't they, and why couldn't we, and did they know? Get over here. Even if they believe that Colin did it, it's not their job to go back and say, hey, on the bed, we think Colin did it. Their job is to say, the state didn't prove Karen Read did it. And I think a lot of people misunderstand that, because maybe you're new to true crime. Maybe you're just wishing the world was like that, but in reality, it has nothing to do in a courtroom. No, but it's cold here today. We were promised sun, and it was sunny when I was out. Then I had to go into IKEA, and it takes forever. And then it was cold when I came out. Well, I'll judge you by that statement. No, I couldn't get. I have like a one of those plastic covers to not ruin my carpet, and I couldn't get it off. You need a national holiday in America for IKEA. IKEA Day, a day of buying and building IKEA furniture. Exactly. How do all these idiots who claim they are so busy mourning John O'Keefe have time to read and post on social media? Well, they have time because actually this is a reply to another post from one of the dumbest people. I'm sorry to say, I don't know this person, but this is Mama Llama. I don't know her. I don't know all the backstories. I know a lot of people know all these players way better than I do. I just find her very unintelligent because of what she writes. And she could be the nicest person in the world, but on Twitter, she seems like one of the dumbest. Almost 2 months later, and I still can't believe 12 people thought it was possible that a soccer mom, spelled like the British, a BPD detective, a dog, and an ATF agent killed their friend for no reason and dumped the body on their own front lawn, only in Massachusetts. And that's not what the jury looked at all. I don't know you, Mama Llama, but you should have been moron. Lame. I made it up in my head. It wasn't good. Because it makes no sense what you write. The jury never, ever looked at Jen McCabe as the killer, or Brian Albert as the killer, or Chloe the dog as a killer, and especially not Higgins. What they looked at was Karen Reed the killer? All of this is just bullshit. This is coping because these idiots 2 months later still can't accept that the Commonwealth wasted $2-3 million to retry someone with even weaker evidence, and they have nothing. I think they have nothing in their life other than a hatred of Aidan Carney that they project to Karen Reed. This is why Krusty Panties was horrible on Jess Machado's show. Machado, sorry, I don't know the correct way to pronounce it. That's why Mama Llama writes stupid stuff like this. This is why Twisted Strategies sat yesterday and bawled on her stupid little show, crying about how I'm such a good person. These idiots have no life. They only have hate. The amount of ADHD coming from Baker this morning is on my level. Well, I am in a good mood, and I'm trying really hard, and Marissa keeps texting me and calling me all kinds of names. I'm fighting the squirrels. And why does this guy, I bet you Marissa called him and say, hey, can you start cutting down some trees right now, as she starts the show? Thank you, Janelle. Mama is completely missing the point. Plus, that's not what the jury thought. No. They're afraid the truth is of the truth. No, they don't care about the truth. They don't. This is the beautiful little thing about this, because what does she do? She puts in a picture of John O'Keefe to try and say this bullshit. She wouldn't care for John O'Keefe at all if it wasn't because she could use it in her hate on someone else. She's not fighting for any justice. The only thing all of these people have been doing for the last 3 years is scream into the void. None of them have said, well, why isn't there any medical evidence of what the state claims? Maybe it's not John Karen Reed who hit him. Maybe he didn't get hit by a car. Maybe she knocked him over the head. No, you have just yelled everything you heard from the state. Mama Lama Ding Dong. Considering there's a pot of gold at the end of rainbows, must be an iris invention, maybe leprechauns. Well, Carrie Roberts is the face of Irish poverty. But let's try and see what Paula, because she's a reasonable woman. And she says, I hate posting pictures of someone who passed away. That's not why I'm here. My sincere apologies to those genuinely connected to John O'Keefe, not the self-proclaimed online advocates for justice. But I really want to comment on this. I have inside information and first-hand experience, so with all respect, none of the 12 jurors thought it was a soccer mom, a BPD detective, a dog, or an ATF agent who killed him. I'm using killed in caps because I guarantee you that word was never used during deliberations in reference to any of those people you mentioned. Our job was to decide if the defendant did it. I may be wrong, but I recall the dog subject coming up once and the foreman stepping in to remind us that we didn't need to determine who did it or if someone else did it. Our focus was solely on the evidence against the defendant. And that is in a nutshell what jury duty is. It's not sitting in there and trying to say, well, it must be her because it couldn't be Brian Albert. That's not their job. I know that Krusty Panties probably believe that's how you do jury duty, but it is taking one piece of evidence, looking at the charges, do they match? Then they are guilty. If not, they're not guilty. Were those other people suspicious? To me, for sure. I can't speak for the others. but I can say that they were absolutely irrelevant to our discussions. It's been 2 months, and this woman, along with many others, seemed to justify Karen Reed, not Carrie Reed's, Karen Reed's, that's a $10 word, acquiescence, solely by claiming the jurors were either corrupt, brainwashed, or dumb, rather than opening their mind to consider the real reason why we found her not guilty. Stop idealizing law enforcement and prosecutors so you all might see what we saw. And this is what you should say, because that is exactly what all of us said. We looked at the evidence. There was no evidence linking the car to John O'Keefe's death. That's why all of us believed Karen Reed was innocent. I had maybe 6 months of people coming in and telling me that Colin did it, Brian did it, I don't know who did it, but that's not important. And I got a lot of flack because, oh, didn't you know Colin did this or that? Well, I cover what's filed in court. I don't cover what the rumor says out on the street. That's not my type of channel. You can get it on other channels where they will go more into that. I don't have the local knowledge. I can't sit and discuss. Well, Colin was seen 2 days later with busted up knuckles. But a lot of people got mad at me for not talking about it. But why? It doesn't matter, because I'm not going to go arrest Colin Albert. That's not my job. I am a talking head on YouTube. My job is put as much pressure as people who can make a decision by telling as many people as I can about the case that something will be done, because I can't do anything. Aiden can't do anything. Emily D. Baker can't do anything. We're not cops. We can't solve the crime. And that's the sad part, because what all of these people, instead of hating on Paula for doing what everyone could see was the right thing, they just say, no, cops can't be wrong. That's a dangerous position to have. Paula is a queen. I think she's a lawyer. I don't know she's a queen, but I'll have to check up with her. The foreman was the boss. He understood their job. Exactly. And I think the foreman in the last case maybe tried to be a little more of a detective and a lawyer at the same time. This guy said, shut up, look at the charges, does it fit? I know Motley Crue doesn't listen to music. What? Well, I don't think it's the best jury ever. Did you know Brad Dion was found guilty in 17 minutes? I think that was better. Paula is your spirit animal. I so wish that I could have gotten to talk to her before she's... and I totally understand her. I reached out to her after about a month, and she said, no, I want to step back a little bit because of all the hatred. And I said, absolutely fine. Totally understand it. Because I wanted to talk to her about the jury experience more than the, oh, did you see this evidence and that evidence? Because I don't find it particularly interesting. We all saw the trial. We have all discussed that 100,000 times. But I really wanted to know how it is to be a juror in America. I know it from the Danish perspective. It's really different than the American, because we don't have those sequestrations, and we openly communicate with the judge during breaks and during deliberation. So we have a way different. We only 2 people in the cases I cover. So it's vastly different. And again, I have 16 years of experience doing it. So I know what the law says about the most common things. So it's way different than just being someone pulled in off the street. And I really wish I had that pull so I could get a guest like that. But I totally understand why she needed a break. Wish all juries could be like this and focus on their real job. This one should be given to the juries when they start, instead of those 2-hour-long jury instructions that no one understands. Just tell them, look at the evidence. Don't look at all the chit chat around you. Look at the evidence. Does it fit the charges? And I think a lot of cases are hamstrung by jurors who have that, well, they wouldn't charge them if they weren't guilty mindset. And that's another dangerous thing, especially in an American the American society versus the Danish is vastly different. You have a kind of a founding story that you must distrust power. You were born out of a rebellion. You got away from Britain, and you've always been a little distrustful because, hey, you built yourself from being 13 small colonies to the biggest power on the planet in only 200 years. Maybe since the British Empire around 1800, nothing has done that in such a short time and been this powerful. But you have built it on, hey, I don't trust you when Mr. Government comes. In Denmark, we utterly believe everything people in power says. This is why we have that mentality that no one can be better than anyone else. We are very socialist in our mindset. That's why I have a hard time sometimes when people praise me, because we are not allowed to feel we are better than each other. Where in America you say, hey, you made it. Oh my God, you're such a great person. We distrust people who makes it. They must have cheated. You see it as, yeah, they beat the system. So that all these juries, and we see it in so many trials, they just believe the cops. And I find it a big problem, especially with your jury system. My job is to make internet presentations. Well, yeah. It's not relevant unless it's evidence, of course. Exactly. Well, then can you go to IKEA for me the next time? Because I can't do that twice in a month. As I told my mods, I need a mod that could potentially live with me, make my dinner, talk to me sometimes, and go buy my stuff. And they said, that's called a girlfriend. I said, I don't want one of those. They talk too much. I respectfully disagree that a jury coming to a vote in 17 minutes makes it better. I'm so glad candidates took the time to look at every single piece of evidence before voting. I don't agree. They had spent 8 weeks looking at the evidence. If you left the courtroom thinking, I don't know, then you haven't been listening for 8 weeks. You are allowed to make up your mind during the trial. You are allowed to sit there and say, Jen McCabe, oh my effing God, is this a joke? Mr. Blue Man Group, what the hell is that about? Oh, Arca, they gave it to me in a way I understood. You are allowed to do that. So spending 3 days looking at evidence to me seems like they weren't sure. I don't think it's a good thing that they spend so much time, especially when the case is as clear as this one. It's the same with that honor killing, how they got to that after so many hours of deliberation and be so wrong. I don't think it's a sign of quality that you discuss for that many hours. It could be a sign of a bad presentation from the lawyers that you have to discuss it so much. It must be because the evidence isn't convincing. Prosecutors overcharge all the time. A good example of this is the verdict in No, I believe that the judge kept out an important piece of evidence. We had a case just like that. Sadly, they succeeded in Denmark, and we knew what that was about. The jury wasn't allowed to know the motive of that, and I think that's BS because I believe they're guilty. I believe they got away with way too much. That dad, if he had the opportunity, he would have unalived her. I've seen it in Denmark more than once. Go look up balcony girls in Sweden. I've seen it more than once. And I believe the judge kept an essential piece of evidence out because this was rooted in culture. I think Karen Reed had to get through the emotional aspect and refocus on the facts. Was it that emotional? The only emotional heartstring they tried to pull was the niece, right? The mom, but she came. I'm sorry, Miss O'Keefe. Sorry you lost your son, but you seem like the biggest douchebag in the world. I'm sorry to say it. The way she acted and talked about her husband, even though she might not like him, that's not how you talk on a stand. And we know how you and John liked each other in the end. Yeah, well, I agree on that one. They should have been allowed to talk about that, but the judge, probably because of cultural, racial sensitivities, didn't allow it in. Hey, RJ. She was douche canoe adjacent for sure. Yeah. Miss O'Keefe was so mean to her husband, understand. Yeah, the first time she did it, Mo laughed. I felt really cringe. And then 2 seconds later, she just did it again. And then Mo stopped. Because you could tell. You can make the joke and said, yeah, we've been together for 40 years. Woo, when I'm getting a medal. You could do that. But when you have to say it again 2 seconds later just to shit on your poor old husband who's been sitting over there looking so frail and so sick for 2 trials, and you're sitting there thinking, oh, I'm such a marvelous one. Go F yourself. I'm sorry for your loss, but you don't have to be a douche because you lost someone. Hey, Valley. Miss O'Keefe was so unnecessary on the stand. Even the jury said so. Yeah, and the way she presented herself, I think it hurt the case. It was meant to be played as, oh my God, I feel so sorry for this grieving mom. But she came off as the biggest, yeah, trial junkies. Is Valhalla going to move in and cook dinner? Oh, interesting. I came in on Miss O'Keefe is a douchebag. Agreed. Sorry for her loss, but geez, you suck as a human. Yes. Oh, you didn't catch that? It's within the first 20 words, she says she disparages her husband twice. Yeah, I think it's within the first 20 words. She talks about him like how annoyed she is with him and how you can tell she doesn't like him. Thank you so much, Kim Woo, for buying 5 corner kisses. 5 corner kisses. Grazie mille. Hey, Marissa. But then we're talking about, okay, it's been 2 months and someone I don't know went into her replies and then they have this one. Okay, this is exactly what happened. Karen pulled up 50 feet after John exited the SUV. She reversed a minimum of 70 feet, hitting John close to the hydrant. And they have painted over here so you can see it. She hit the curb at 9 seconds into the Techstream data, abruptly changing the steering. No, she does this on the steering wheel. I did a demonstration during the first trial. It's not an abrupt steering change. She turns around and leave. That's the only. This is what someone had posted on July 28th. Okay, so Karen pulls up after John exited the SUV. Why is John leaving the SUV here? Or here? Wouldn't it be believable, as Karen said, he walked up the driveway. I saw him by the door for the final time. Well, she reversed a minimum of 70 feet. That's what the Techstream data shows at this key cycle. We don't know when this key cycle was. Hitting John close to the hydrant. So she hits him and then continue on onto the lawn. She hits the curb at 9 seconds, without losing speed or shaking her wheel, because she actually only does a 6-degree turn on the wheel. She turns around and leave. No, because this is what Lally told you. She went that way and that way. She never turns around. Why put stuff up like this? And why are you still believing this after you watched the trial? Not even Lally or Brennan said anything like this. I love the first comment. I often thought she clipped the fire hydrant first, broke the side light and caused the metal frame piece to flare out, then clipped John. I thought the jagged metal pieces is what make the scrapes on his arm. The fire hydrant is too low to hit the tail light. Don't think about it. How can it make incisions in 2 different ways on his arm? But these are people who call us a cult, who call us stupid, who says we don't understand science. This is great. We spend, how much time have we spent? 8 weeks this time, 10 weeks the first time. Let's be on the safe side. We spent at least 3 months covering this trial. One special prosecutor, and then you have Brennan, who he's special. And none of them have said what you stated, but you figured it out. And this is what I mean. None of this makes any sense if you just have two brain cells to rub together. What is absolutely maddening to me is that anti-Karen readers can't explain away the lack of injuries below the head and no broken bones. No. And I tell them that every time I look at it, but I don't do it. Have you ever hit a fire hydrant? Those things are brick shit houses. Yeah, because they are actually made so if they get hit, they can survive. And they have to hold a shit ton of pressure when water comes out of it. It's not flimsy material. That there are so many possibilities of what happened shows police didn't do a damn thing. Strangers on the internet with no access to the scene or evidence spent more time on the investigation. Shelley, this is exactly the problem. And this is why there will never be justice for John O'Keefe. They didn't look. Let's just do this. Let's put the binoculars in front of our closed eye, which is a Danism because when we lost our navy to the Brits in 1807, the famous, was it 1801? I think 1801. The famous Nelson from Trafalgar, we surrendered, but he had lost one eye at the Battle of Trafalgar. So he put his binoculars up and said, we can't see it, and then kept killing our soldiers. I understand why you don't want to be part of the British empires. They cheated at war. Because it's a key cycle. They could have spent a lot of. I had a guy attack me today saying, well, why didn't they do anything with the Techstream data? Why should they? The Techstream data doesn't prove anything. It's a snippet out of time they claim is from this time. But how can you prove it? You can't. And you can sit and do, and I think they learned from the first trial. The biggest problem in the first trial was they had a really, really bad presenter of the Hoslong to die in the cold. I didn't understand one word that experts told me. I know it's my third language and all of that, but I think if I don't understand it with my knowledge of Danish courtrooms procedures, following American cases for so long, there's no way most jurors understand it. There was one, maybe 2 people in my chat who understood what the hashtag and chip chaps and dip dabs was. And if you can't explain it, don't bring it up, because you will sound like, oh, maybe we have to look more at this. It could be kind of wishy-washy. And you don't want the jury to do that. So I totally understand why they don't go in and try and fight it. There was enough physical and scientific evidence to prove she didn't do it. I think Miss O'Keefe is upset with her husband because he doesn't believe Karen did it. She bailed Paul out and gave kids money to set them up for life. And she took him to church. I bet you in his heart of hearts, that's an old Chinese thing. No, Japanese maybe. That you have two hearts. You have the one that you people see, and then you have your own secret heart. And in his own secret heart, the one he shows he's sad about his son, and oh yeah, Karen might be guilty. In his heart of hearts, he loved that woman because she was the only one to seem to care about him. She took him to church. For a religious person who is probably beginning to smell the dirt from the grave, it's very important to get to service. And she's the one who did it, not his deadbeat son, not his wife. Karen Reed, a stranger, took him to church. And I think that means a lot to a person like him. So in his secret heart, I think he's glad she wasn't found guilty. Everyone who posts a theory of what happened should have to provide proof of their advanced degrees and expert qualifications. Otherwise, should it? Well, that's the beauty about, hey, have you met me? I can just talk because I have an audience and I don't know anything. That's why I try not to talk about the rumors, because what do I know? I don't know crusty panties. I don't know half the things going on in Massachusetts, but I can read what is presented in writing, and I can see what's presented in court and build my opinion on that one. Going to church. What the hell is Valhalla going on about? I was one of the people with Tolia Rosen who understood the data, but most people wouldn't if you don't work in the field. No, it's way too complicated. That's why ARCA is such a good company to hire as expert, because of course they can do the science, but every scientist can do the science, but they are good at presenting the science. Dr. Russell, she had her moments. To me, I would say, who's the one all your ladies are moist about? That's Dr. Wolf. No, Mr. Cannon. I would put him in a solid A as an expert, and his colleague maybe higher. I think I would put Scotty Bello. Was it Scotty Bello? The lady with the tattoos from the first trial, I put her up there. They were the best experts in that trial, and called by both, so I'm trying to be objective. I probably put the aperture witnesses at the one who didn't lie. He was probably a C, and I think Dr. Russell was a C plus because she got a little too talkative. But I think the two ARCA guys and the coroner, the brain expert with the tattoos, they were absolutely A-class witnesses. I would call them if I ever needed something in their field, because they were good at their job, but they were great at presenting it. And it's kind of like going on YouTube. Who do you watch? Do you watch the people who, today can read as case are Massachusetts and car, maybe sometimes dog, I don't know. But then, I don't know, someone Colin. Or do you listen to people who will try and present it in a decent way? That's Squirty Bellows. Stonebridge. Yeah, Squirty Bellow she was the coroner that they couldn't convince. I didn't like her understand. Uranus is warmer than previously thought. Well, mine is toasty today. because it's muggy out. And also has more gas. It's real news. Goggle it. Well, that's why I watch Newsy News with Mo in the morning, so I can get all my Uranus facts. Zip, 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 zip. Just check sure. Yes. Yes, he did, and it showed me O'Keefe cared for Karen. Dr. Russell scored a home run with the grief reactant thingy, though. Yeah. I think that was a good thing she got in there, but again, I like my witnesses short and to the point. She got a little, but she had a wonderful long life she can drag on. So that's she maybe gets a little storytelling, if you can say it that way. If you can make it entertaining, people will like even the most boring subject. Watch a NASA video that made static electricity interesting. Yeah, and again, when I was in teachers college, we because I was trying to be a history teacher, a math teacher, and a science teacher, and we had to go out to schools, and the teacher out there said, well, we just do this, because he had a book and he just did the same year after year. And you can just look at the kids, and they sat just like we sat when we had science in school. So we tried to do that one where you undercool water, so when you put force on it, it'll turn into ice and all of that funny stuff. And they thought that class was fun. And then he went back to doing the presentation, and they will hate science again. Oh, Valhalla and I have a Clash of Clan. If you play that game, which I didn't until he told me I had to, join us. It's called Valhalla's Herd. And he will try and bamboozle you out of resources because he's a cheater. But he's a nice cheater. No, I've talked about I went to teachers college for 3 semesters. Hey, Martha Harry. But talking about people who can't move on, I don't know if you all caught this one yesterday from the Queen of Stupid. Why is Alan Jackson announcing that his client has more legal issues coming up like it's a WWE promo? He says, I'm not done yet, and the next chapter is coming. Remember what I said about our team having no quit? Well, stand by. Let me tell you something, brother. If that's how you present a WWE promo, you are not headlining WrestleMania. But why do you care? Why do you care that he promotes to the thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people who has been looking at Karen Read, that they will, I read this as he will be involved in some way, fashion in the civil suit. I have no inside knowledge. I don't know anything, but that's how I read it. Or maybe he just likes making you look stupid on the internet, because I do. But that was what got her crusty panties in a bunch yesterday. That he apparently couldn't talk about how he wanted to. I read it as he's going to join the civil case in some way. But Krusty got mad. That's right. Karen commented somewhere, I think Facebook, that he's part of the civil team. Oh, interesting. She's so cringe. She's obsessed with herself. Right after the case, I did a lot of those Krusty has lost her mind videos because, hey, it was good fun and it gave me some views. But when you then start following her every day, you get some of the hottest, dumbest takes you can have on the planet. because yes, no, I need to share it. That's what I'm trying to look at. You have a person I don't know, City Girl Smitty. I guess it's okay when a YouTuber, so-called journalist, I love that they are so butthurt over Aiden being a journalist, tells someone to unalive themselves. And then she comes in with, well, cult leaders often tell their followers to unalive themselves, so this tracks. I love that somebody put in, well, David Jones never had more than a couple of hundred followers. Aiden has way more. But this is what she spends her time with. Oh, your friend just threatened others, they would kill them. Yeah, that was her good friend, Lindsay Catani, who threatened people she wanted to unalive them. She didn't plead out to anything. Please stop fixating on her crowds. It's deviant. No, it's a camel toe. It's not deviant. Deviant is a movie. Karen Reed, civil lawyers are seeking a mountain of records from several government agencies, including Norfolk's DA's office. Here we go again, more bullshit distractions. Isn't it funny? Mike Crawford, the young jerk, posted the biggest cell phone of all time while crying incessantly all day about kicked off Zoom for streaming. Reading, idiot, it's your friend that you're not allowed to restream. Well, why are you putting that on a live feed? Someone should let law girl meth heads know what pre-trial probation means. It means there was no plea. Lindsay pled to nothing. The case is filed away and will be dismissed in 6 months. No admission of guilt or wrongdoing. No finding of anything wrongdoing. Well, then why is she on probation? She has to keep her path clean for 6 months, you stupid. Or else she will go back to the pen. The antis don't seem to understand any kind of humor or sarcasm. You have to have a level of intelligence to understand. Crispy, true that. Because when you try and make a little joke, oh yeah, I knew you were retarded. Oh no, you don't get it. Oh, you come from a foreign country. Ugh. Paula had put something up about because someone claimed she was not a lawyer, and then she put up all her licensings from Brazil, and this lady was, are you admitted to the bar? No, because that's an American institution. We don't have the bar in Denmark either. In Denmark, you go to law school and then you'll go out and work for a lawyer. You have to pass your exams as part of law school, but you don't do a bar exam to work on my island and another bar exam to work on the next island. We don't have that. In Denmark, you're just a lawyer. But that's probably because we are a small country. We don't need a bar system. But she had to post all of this stuff, and still they're like, yeah, well, don't you have a bar license? No, you don't need it. But I think, and let me be brutally honest, I don't think they are smart people. I know I will start some beef, but I actually think some of them are quite dumb. So I'll make a follow-up statement. In Europe, we see you Americans as undereducated, loud people. This is one of the, what if you ask people from Europe, what do you think about America? And we believe that you don't know anything about the world because America, yeah. But it's probably because Europe is smaller than America, so we need to know more about the rest of the world. But I think that most of the anti-Karen Reed people are unintelligent. I actually think most of them don't really know that there is a world outside of America. Yeah. Some of them wouldn't probably be able to name more than 3 states in America. And we all know there's North Dakota, South Carolina, North Carolina, Sweet Carolina. That's 5 states easy. And I can do that without thinking about it. But I actually think most of these people are so dumb that they don't understand what Brazil is. They think it's a nut. And being loud and being dumb is often two things that goes together. I was just shitting on Americans, sorry. Well, because we have to come and fix your problems every time you get into them. I don't think most Americans are uneducated. I just think Americans have a mentality that they, and that's a good mentality. We don't have that. It's not comme il faut to like your country and think it's good in Denmark, even though we have flags everywhere. But that probably makes them focused on way more on America than they are on the world. And when you then meet people from outside, you'll have some of those what moments. I have that a lot when I talk to the expert because I don't know if he understands what's from at the end of his driveway, and he's highly educated. Some people who pass the bar are very small, like Lawyer Tom. Yeah, he's tiny. America. Nordvagina, Vestvagina, exactly. We have lots of education, it's just not very good. Well, you can also, let me tell you something. I know this will come as a shock. I didn't really go to school much. I think my senior year or 10th grade, as we call it, I had different classes that I had more than 50% absence in. I really didn't want to go to school. I just wanted to sleep. And it showed when I left school and got my exams. Well, I did pretty well at my oral exams because I could bullshit me out of most things. My written exams weren't that great. And that was because of laziness. I then spent a lot of time working as a baker, and then I self-studied. If I found a subject that I found interesting, I would read book on book and book and book. If I found an interesting documentary series about sharks, I would sit and watch that. And I taught myself a lot of stuff that I didn't get with me out of school. And you can do that. But you can also be really good at other things and you don't really know much about the world because it's not for everyone. Not everyone likes to sit and have all this useless knowledge. How did you know that is how I talk as American? Well, I've been around Americans. Oh, I'm so far behind today. Konya Smith. Konya like the city in Turkey. No Valhalla, we're not talking subs, we are talking countries. Thank you for becoming a member. Ember. Konya is kind of like a beach resort city, I think. Never been to Turkey, but heard a lot of bad things about it. But if you want plastic surgery and a high likelihood of infection, you can get it cheap in Turkey. Then Baker got his degree in flower power. Yeah, I had a pretty good, well, my final exam wasn't good. My theoretical was really good. I probably had an A in theoretical. College is also not about education in America. It's really a money grab for rich old men. No, it's a money grab for institutions. It's not about rich old men. I think most universities these days are very, very mixed. And the reason why they get rich is because people say, well, just let the taxpayers pay for it. And then they'll just raise the tuition. People, sadly, and we do it in Denmark as well, put way too much power in that little stamp on top of the paper. I'll bet you there are more community college educated people out there who do great than a Harvard educated person because they don't come with the entitlement. It's like we share soul, Baker. Well, oh my. Can you feel it tinkle too? Well, thank you, Tammy. No, but education has become way, way, way too overhyped. Not everyone should be a basket weaver. Not everyone should be an Egyptologist. AI is going to do it for us anyway. It means kitchen in Hungarian. Oh, konya. No, konya. But I don't speak much I don't think I speak. I think I could say hello and goodbye in Hungary, but that's a weird language. That's really, really hard to get. We need plumbers and carpenters. Yeah, and they would probably get a more stable. I don't know if any of you have watched these. Come watch me work a day as at TikTok. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, oh my God, when the war comes, you're going to be first. They couldn't survive 5 minutes in the real world. Oh, I come in at 9 o'clock and then there's free breakfast. And then I have like 30 minutes of relaxed time just to get mentally ready for work. I got yelled at if I came into the bakery 5 minutes before I had to work because, hey, you have to be ready at 3 a.m. It's not, hey, come in here, have a cup of coffee, sit down. No, you're getting paid, fucking work. And the entitlement, but it'll come back and bite them so badly in their behind. I have youngish children, and I told them, no one owes you anything. You need to take what you can get from the world, and you have to work for it. And teaching people that you deserve something is giving them the worst start in life because no one deserves anything. You deserve love from your parents, and the rest you have to work for. It's sadly a lot of people send kids out into the world and say, "Well, I don't have to do that because I'm no." Shut up and work. Ask Valhalla how the Iraqis thought about his privileges. Uh, if you didn't know it, Valhalla has a gender studies degree, sub cum laude in gender studies. Oh, some people getting mad that I say America. I don't believe America is the worst point. I said it many a time. You are still to us, even though a lot of Americans don't believe it, you are still the shiny city on the hill. You are the country we want to be. In Denmark, it's illegal to burn a certain book, not all books. You have freedoms that we don't have, but you also have problems, as every country in the Western world have. And it doesn't help that we just yell, well, stupid Danish guy, stupid Yank. Doesn't help. It's good to have an outsider's perspective on things. Tell me my taxes are too high. I know it. So, yeah. You got to be a grunt, but also know your worth. Yeah, you don't let them do whatever. You have your rights and you have to stand by them. But you also have, because if you then say, "Well, I'm not going to do that," and they say, "Well, you're fired," well, then you're fired. Actions and consequences. Everyone is too busy giving trophies out for showing up. Real world doesn't do that work. Rude awakening and coming for a lot of them. Yeah, and that's sadly a lot of the young generation with a minor in underwater basket weaving. Yes, but that's the problem. And I think this is going to sound harsh. Don't take it that way. We have had it too good for too long. When Valhalla and I were young bucks, not the wrestling team, but young men, we had 3 ongoing conflicts at the same time. That chewed up a lot of, hey, I really want to go and enjoy my lifetime for some of us. But it also built a little bit of a character because when you have to go out there and sit, and I was on what we call beach vacation. Valhalla had the bad job, but that's because I'm smarter than Valhalla. But I probably also got paid more than he did. But when you have these good times, it's just what's it? The silky loaf. Can't remember. There's good men makes good. Hard times makes good men. Good men makes good times. Good times makes weak men. Weak men makes hard times. And that's sadly, I think we are in hard times right now because I don't know. It seems rudderless. But the good thing is we are not like that. We are not, and we have raised our kids to be the next and best generation ever. I didn't play the tuba. I actually did some real soldiering back then. Of course, calling people stupid doesn't help. You have to put flags and pronouns in a profile. Exactly. And call me a misogynist. That always makes me change my mind. Hey, Nikki. But that was a little sidestep to nothing. I had something else I wanted to talk about, but I forgot to. Well, I did make it ready, and then I closed the tab because I have OCD and don't like open tabs. Oh, did you all see Aiden's show Saturday about how they changed the title of his streams? I know the judge ain't gonna do nothing, but how great of Cosgrove to lie in the papers he filed for to try and get Aiden to prison. But hey, that's not the first big problem they have. Where was it? Maybe I didn't find it. Maybe I'm just an idiot. Sorry, I can't find it. Well, get cooking. Go frolic a little bit. Adversity builds character. The best lessons I've learned in life has come from listening to those with views opposite of my own. Yes, and that's another thing. Now I know what I wanted to say. I saw someone commenting on. Did anyone watch Jess? You all watched Jess having Krusty on Saturday, and people got mad at Jess that she did that. But why shouldn't she? We have a big debate in Denmark right now if we should deny people the right to talk. And I have this idea, the more the other side gets to talk, the easier it is to see they have no arguments. That's why I had Plevin on, even though people said, why would you give him time to talk? Anyone who has gone back and watched that interview with Plevin, none of you think that Plevin made good arguments that would convince you that Karen Reed was guilty. All of you understood instantly how stupid he is. And I really like it when you let people bring their own rope and they can. Hey, Slidey. Jess did an awesome job. She did. And it's really hard to interview someone you have such a dislike, because you can tell she has a dislike. But she did good. She had way more self-control than I had when I interviewed Plevin. Hey, Miami. Of course they will. It's Massachusetts. No better person to interview Krusty. Jess wouldn't let her argue or twist the narrative. No, and she was onto her, and she disarmed her. I think in the beginning she was really good at disarming her, trying to be friendly and reasonable with her. And Krusty did the same Plevin did with me. Came in ready to fight, and she was allowed to just measure out how much rope she needed to, and then she kind of hung herself. But what I don't understand is, are those people who get mad at Jess, because I think it's a good idea to show people who think, oh, maybe Krusty have some good pointers. Show her how unreasonable she is when someone pushes her a little bit. It's the same with the 20 people watching Twisted Tragedies. They believe her when she sits there and cries and says, yeah, well, I have so many people reaching out to me because I have a special need kid and I work so hard and I have so many disabilities. Hey, I'm not going to tell you. You probably already know. You sit in front of a fucking computer all day. What are the big problems you have? Well, I don't make enough money. And I can't get disability. Well, get a job. If you can sit there and whine all day, run to Starbucks, what's your problem? Well, I have to take care of my special needs kid. You stream for 4 hours. He doesn't need help, or she doesn't need help for 4 hours. But I have to feel sorry for you. Shut the F up. Krusty is a pain in the left nut, and you're female. Well, then it's not the left nut, it's the left flap. Talk about being insensitive. Thank you, Inspire. I don't know how she did it, because she's a professional. She's not just a fool with a webcam and a big mouth. She has skills. I think she's a good reporter. Jess was able to showcase how, given enough time, the crazy ugly will show itself. Exactly, because I don't think Krusty is intelligent. I think Krusty is in Denmark. Well, maybe not all Denmark. My dad called this being peasant smart, because they always knew how to get away with little stuff, the peasants. So he always said, well, this guy's just peasant smart. He can't read a book, but he's street smart. Street smart is what Americans would use most likely. I think she's really, really street smart. She has spent her entire life with her head on a swivel, trying to get out of all the shit her mouth gets her in. And she knows how to play sympathetic and, oh, I'm a victim. And she tried to do it. And so I'm just so empathetic. I feel for the family. And in the end, you could just see that unwashed heap of a human sit there. And if anyone was on the, maybe Krusty has some good points, they lost it. So thank you so much, Jess. Well, it's good to see idiots being idiots in public, because then you know who the idiots are. You don't have to hang out with. Yeah, she takes it as a win, and so did Plevin with me, because they believe that I yelled a lot, so I'm smart. But they just showed the world they are not that worth. Yeah, let them speak and show themselves for what they are. Yeah. Do you have that saying, to be silent is silver? To be silent is gold. No, to talk is silver. To be silent is gold. Because if you open your mouth, people can figure out how stupid you are. I call it manipulative. Yeah, but that's being street smart. You can get out of most situations. You can't tell other people how you do it, but you just have that inert little rat-like thing where you can get out of everything. Hello, bad dog. Kate really isn't dumb. She does a lot of stuff just for a reaction. I know her since she was on Turtle Boy. I've only seen her for the last 3 years. I don't think she's intelligent. I don't say she's retarded, but I don't think she has a high level of comprehension. I don't think she understands most things. I think she plays dumb a lot, and that's a thing you can do to kind of disarm other people. But I just don't think she understands the law. I don't think she understands why she can't do most of the stuff she does when she gets in trouble, because it's effing illegal, because she thinks, hey, my ass is protected, I'm golden. So I wouldn't call her intelligent. I would call her street smart. I don't believe she's so dumb she can't handle herself, but I don't think she's smart enough that she's not gonna invent any light bulbs. So yeah. And I have light bulbs that can change color, I think. Yeah, you can't see it on screen because the light will just filter. Oh, I'm so happy I did all this work and it doesn't work. No, she thinks she knows more about things than she does. She used to fake it, but never make it. Yeah, and probably if she's writing scripts and talking on Turtle Boys TV, and they have done the research and written a script, you can sound really smart. I have some really good mods, and I can ask them and say, "Hey, why does this make sense?" And then Marissa will say, "It doesn't make sense, you idiot." And Jemima will say, "Hey, it's because there's a law in Connecticut where if you are drunk the second Tuesday on a month, you can drive your car." And then I can sit on my stream and say, "Hey, did you know in Connecticut on the second Tuesday of a month, you can't get an OUI? That's why it was totally bullshit. He got pulled over." And I sound really smart. I'm just really good at storing information that I get from smarter people. So it sounds good. She did a pretty good job of getting Turtle Boy locked up. Well, that was more Brian Tully and Lindsay Gattani. Probably most work was done by Lindsay, if you know what I mean. A walk-in advertisement for the Dunning-Kruger effect. Getting her a petty thing for her nails and toes. I don't know. But I love that she's I'm best friends from Jen McCabe. I bet you Jen McCabe couldn't pull her out of a lineup with two people in it. Lindsay Gattani and Aiden. Oh, I'm not talking about Krusty. Krusty is what I think of when I need to last to the full 30 seconds. Fart like a butterfly, sings like a bee. Yeah. So I have so little knowledge you think you're an expert. Well, just call it, well, I only know about very specific areas. Shake and bake. Why do all these women lose custody of their children? Well, let me paint you a picture. It's been a long time since I have told about stuff. There's this little leaf that grows down in Colombia. Then some nice people fly it to America after they bathed it in a lot of chemicals. Then you have a nondescript person who gets the product from that leaf. And he has some people who are out on the street And then people like Kate Peters allegedly, well, let's call it, I don't know, walks up to this person and says, "Hey, do you have some?" And then they get a little baggie with something in it. And this is how they lose custody of their kids. So all the reason why a lot of these women don't have custody over their kids is because Colombia exists. That's just reasoning. It's or maybe they don't like that one and it's fentanyl. It could be fentanyl. I don't know. I don't do drugs, so I think they're high class, so they use the Colombian products. Or they live with horrible, horrible boyfriends that they would rather live with instead of taking care of their kids. Because funny thing about kids, you can just make more of them. Santa's early. Oh, Santa. Oh. I am an artist. Yeah. I think she's just making it up to sound interesting. Hookah. Oh, I bought new shoes today. I bought Adidas. Not Hookah. Jen would be friendly with Kate, is the only one who is nice to her. Jen is fake like that. You could tell that Jen and Carrie didn't talk much anymore. She didn't need her anymore. That's just hurtful. Thank you. Go to bed. How do you make that shit up? What shit? What shit are you talking about? I would have my own YouTube channel if I could make shit up like that. That someone is running around on your roof, it's really easy. Want to see? I think someone is on my roof. And scene. See, Marissa, it's not that hard. A little learning is a dangerous thing. Thank you, Peace Geek. No, learning is good. We need to learn together. Did you buy the nice colorful ones? 2 seconds. They have a little bit of color. They're not as colorful as they seemed online, but it's gonna be fine. They have a weird sole, or what you call this part of the shoe. So you kind of walk like this, but apparently it's to fix your posturing. So I hope they work. That's my new gym shoe. I like them. All day I dream about smacks. No, it's named after the founders, Rudi and Adi. Nice purpose. They look lightweight. It's their low level cheap entry shoe, but I like they have something called cloud form and foam, and I like that. Normally I like to wear Pumas, but I buy the cheap shoes for the gym because it's just for the gym. And if I needed them to walk around, I would buy like 2 steps up. But Puma is really in the low level. Their soles are not good. It's not grandpa's shoes. I don't wear New Balance. That's a sole. Okay, thank you. It's apparently so because you kind of have a tendency to, I don't know. He explained it to me. It's something they used for their high class running shoe, and they have tried to implement it in the lower level now. And He said, if you don't like it, use it for a month, come back, and I'll give you the money back, no problem. So that's fine. I like Ashes too, but they have just gotten so expensive. So yeah. Adidas and Puma kind of have the same fit. I can't wear Nike. Most Under Armour can't wear because I don't. That's the thing I don't understand. Nike and Under Armour is American brands. Why do we only get them in the narrow model in Europe? Why don't they have for hefties like me? I need good shoes for the gym. No, I don't. It's not worth putting so much money into it because of my level. I walk on a treadmill. That's the most of the stuff I do because I can't run because of my back pains. So I just need something that's comfortable to walk in. I don't need good running shoes and spend thousands of dollars on it. It's wasted. I have one pair of handball shoes because they have flat bottom that I use when I train legs because you need a little more stable basis with those kilos I pull or push those days. But other than that, I just need a pair of shoes that feels comfy. Barefoot shoes, I hate them. Yeah, I know New Balance is a good shoe. Just bought Skechers slip-on. I've heard a lot of good things about Skechers. My daughter gave me a pair of Adidas, kind of like an Adidas Croc. They are horrible. They are way too small. Oh well, I don't know if she does it, but I can't say it. New Balance is a great brand, actually. New Balance is a good brand. It's a comfortable brand, but it's a little old man shoe. Yeah, they don't make. I don't understand why Nike can't make good shoes. I like the look of Nike shoes, but I just can't wear them because I have a white foot. Yeah, and it's weird because again, you Yanks are a hefty people. I feel right at home there. Yeah, and so far I've been doing great with what I have. Don't buy Nike ever. I haven't had a pair of Nikes in a long time. What kind of work do you do in the gym? You do need good shoes. Ask this person with arthritis for both hip knees, Lamau. I do 3 splits. I do leg, push, pull, and then I have a day cardio. So a normal day I'll do like 30 to 40 minutes, 30 to 45 minutes lifting, and then half an hour just walking on the treadmill. And then on my cardio day, I'll do an hour and a half just walking. That's what works for me. I'm gonna start up doing. We have these different, like Zumba and stuff like that, and I'm gonna do. We have something called retro dance. It's kind of like a Zumba aerobic thing, but with old school music, and it gets my heart rate up, and it's fun, and I like the music. So I'm the only guy in there who's gonna dance with all these 60-year-old women, but I like it. It makes me smile, and it helps me lose some weight. So I'm gonna do retro dance. Sadly, because I do gym in the morning, as I have you guys. I normally start streaming at around 3 o'clock my afternoon, so I have to get my gym time in the morning, and they don't have classes in the morning, so I'm a little hamstrung by that. But Friday at 9:50, I'll be doing retro dance. Yeah, of course. And then it'll be like our Discord. Hey, what kind of feminine hygiene products do you use? I don't want to talk about this. Well, I really like the ones with the butterflies on. Hey, Augusta, Kansas. Puma, Adidas, Saucony, and many colors of Converse. I don't like wearing Converse. because they have a really bad sole in them. They apparently are good for lifting because they are so flat. But I have a pair of winter boots in Converse, and you have to put a I don't know what you call it, inlay sole on top of it for them to be comfortable. Yeah, and I do that. And the first time, well, a lot of the first times, I'm a big old fat guy, and I'm the guy. I do hammer curls with. On a good day, I can do like 60 pounds in each hand, and then I go in there, and it takes a lot of convincing yourself that it's okay to be the guy who stands out there and looks at the teenagers and say, "Hey, you want to be strong? Gonna do like this," and then you all of a sudden are dancing with your 70-year-old neighbor. But after 2-3 times, I found out I feel so happy when I'm done, because you have great music and you get moving, and you just have to forget that you're really bad at it and just enjoy yourself, because it's such a different mood. Because when you train, I train on anger, because I like to lift heavy, really heavy, which is probably stupid because I have a bad back, but I really like to lift heavy. And you need anger to do that. You can't leg press 400 pounds while thinking about, oh, it was so nice yesterday when I was streaming. People were so friendly to me. Holly Mack gifted 5 gifted memberships, and I was so lucky that Adrian Kauser, Christina, True Crime Granny, Daisy the Corgi's mom, and Danny Davis became members. Marissa only yelled at me 20 times. It was a good day. You can't lift heavy when you do that. So I need a little anger in myself. Funny enough, because every leg day I hear Disney's greatest hits. That's my leg day music is Disney's greatest hits. Yes, I am that weird. But you need to be a little angry. So I like to go and do a class where you just have to be happy and dance and enjoy yourself. And like someone said, dance like no one's watching. That's a beautiful thing. I like Baccara. I haven't seen those in 100 years. Weren't they mostly for like racing shoes? I don't like barefoot shoes. Really don't. There's this weird noise that keeps happening in my house. I don't know what it is. Do you have your fire alarm? Have you checked that one? Yeah, as long as it's fun. That's the most important part. Converse has no arches. Yeah, that's the biggest problem. It's just a flat shoe. Just stop talking. You stop talking. What is considered retro dance? Running Man? No, we it's just like aerobic class, but the music is just 70s, 80s music. So it's like Tina Turner and ABBA and stuff like that. So yeah. Yes, I go heavy where you build up to only 3 reps. I do that once a month. Then I do light, medium, light, heavy, light, medium, light, heavy. So you get it. But still, what I call light is probably some people would still consider being pretty heavy. Because, again, curls probably the 50s, and then heavy go into the 60s, 70s. And when you go really heavy and do the one where you butt cheat and everything, I could get close to 75, 80 pounds, but it's not good for me. If you have back pains, you definitely need to invest in good shoes. Yeah, I've had back pain since I was a wee buck at 23. So I have shoes I walk. I love the look of Adidas Superstars, but I can't walk in them because they also just have a flat bottom. but I put inlay soles in. But I really love Adidas Superstars, but they're not good for my back. So normally I'll just wear Adidas everywhere I go. No, anger, not an anchor. Whatever you're doing, your arms better be swole. They're more fat than swole. Like that guy came up to me and said in the gym, if you weren't so fat, you would be pretty buff. Yeah, thank you so much. That really inspired me. Well, tell your friends I'm around. Tomorrow, what the hell? Well, you also have a gender studies degree, so no surprises. Hey, Murphy. It's YouTube again. I can't do anything about it. It's just annoying. Yeah, he wasn't even that skinny, but it's just stupid. He was the same guy I was doing. We have those. Do you know this? Not the Swift bike, but where you can kind of you have a screen, and then you can say, okay, I want to ride this route, and it's up a mountain or down a coastline or something, and it'll put on inclines and declines and all of that. And I was riding a mountain down in the Alps that I walked on with my sister, and I just wanted to ride it because I walked there with my sister. My sister lives in Switzerland. I see her maybe once, twice a year if I'm lucky, and I just wanted to sit and remember it was back when I could still ride a bike before my back got really bad. And I was just sitting there enjoying it and thinking about, oh yeah, I miss my sister. It's been so nice. It's been a long time. And he came up and said, that's not the best way to lose weight. I said, well, I'm not. I'm just sitting here writing. Yeah, but you should be interval training. I said, but I am not trying to get my heart rate up. I'm just getting reps in. I know what I'm doing. Yeah, but that doesn't work. Well, any movement is better than no movement. Yeah, it's totally ridiculous. I think it's stupid. And then he sat on the bike next to me, and just like, yeah, you have to do like this. And then he was doing interval sprints, and I was like, see you later, and I just went home. Some people really should shut the fuck up. Well, I don't know if he was gay, but I just hate people like that. Yeah, but free advice is often worth all the money. And again, you can do it in two ways. You can come over and say, "Hey, buddy, I see you ride the bike a lot, and do you know you do these long stretches? Sometimes it could be really good. Maybe do a shorter and do some interval training. It really builds your cardio and gives you energy for the long runs." Oh, I didn't know that. How do you do that? Well, start out by doing 10 and 20-second intervals. Try and do this. Great. And I'll check in again tomorrow. Is that cool? Yeah, that's fine. You can do that, or you can go and say, "Hey, you're fat." And I used to train in a strongman gym where people were really good at saying, "Oh my God, you're working. This is so great," and "Oh my God, you're really hitting some goals and stuff like that," and "So good to see you." And then I went back to the more commercial gym, and we had this girl, probably 18, 19 years old, came in, and she had the most beautiful technique I've ever seen, and she lifted heavy as shit. And she was skinny. You couldn't tell she had muscles. And one day, because she was one of those who kind of walked along the walls and didn't say anything, and just came in, did her job, and went out again. So when Noah said, "Hey, not to be the old creepy guy or anything, but I just wanted to say, this is so impressive, the amount of kilos you're lifting." And she was like, "Oh yeah, yeah, yeah." I said, do you train powerlifting or?" No, I used to train in this gym, but it closed. And I said, yeah, so amazing. And then like 2 days later, she came over and said, oh, by the way, can you help me with this? I said, sure. And now we talk all the time. And when she's doing chest press, and I'll go over and help her spot her, because yeah, you can be nice to someone and say, oh my God, it's looking good, and really like what you're doing. Or you can be the asshole who's like, oh, look at that fat fuck. You should applaud the fat people. You shouldn't applaud the skinny people. The skinny people don't need to be there as much as the fat people. And it's really hard for a fat person to get the courage to do it. Stand in the gym next to someone, maybe with baby dumbbells, and they can maybe do 2 sets and then they have to go sit down. Those people, you should go pat on the back and say, this is amazing. The skinny chick who does 2,000 donkey kicks, yeah, that's fine. Good, you go to the gym. See you later. But the people who maybe go to my mom and dad started going to the gym when they got when they were pensioners, because my mom had arthritis, and she was in. They had like a Danish arthritis club, where she said, well, it could be a good thing to make like a class for people with arthritis, so it's more for their level. And they started going to the gym, and my dad started going to the gym, and he didn't do a lot, but he got his exercise in every time my mom was down there. And as he said, when my mom passed away, it was really good, because every time he went to the gym, he talked to 5 people he knew. If he didn't go there, he would talk to no people, because he was, well, I would stop by every other day, and maybe one of the other siblings would call, but other than that, he was just lonely. Now my mom wasn't there. But if he went to the gym, he talked to 5 people. And you don't have to, come on now. It's okay. And again, most gyms are really good. If you find a nice group of people, don't come at when all the teenagers are there throwing their weights around. Come in the morning where the old school are there. And Zach, the Cougars, are there at that time too. Growing really loud and fat while lifting. Less cabbage. We had those tapes when I was a kid. Oh, I don't know what. If someone is doing dozens and dozens of donkey kicks, they might be trying to squeeze out their fibers for a show the next day. No, these are just girls who's been on TikTok and think that that donkey kicks is a glute builder. And if you tell them, no, you probably need to do some glute bridges and some heavy ass squats, they'll still be doing this for 2 years, because I saw it on TikTok. Kim Kardashian does it. I used to live in the gym. I trained way too much. It made me sick. That's another problem. Don't overtrain. But hey, that's not my problem. Average Joe gym over the Globo gym. Exactly. Don't overdo it, but be encouraging. And it's okay we don't look like Arnold, even though we win. No, but if you hit the gym at 9 a.m., I couldn't lift that early. But that's my brother always goes to the gym at 8 in the evening. I can't. I have no energy. Hello, blind spot. How are you doing? TB Zoom happening now. Turtle Boy. He shouldn't be, isn't it? Now I have to open my calendar and yell at my mods if they didn't put a Zoom meeting in there. Yes, I'm so smart. I have a calendar. Well, I just made it. And Turtle Boy is supposed to be the 13th at 8 p.m. That sounds like 8 p.m. Oh, sorry, it's my time. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's the next Turtle Boy. I work out at home and I love it. I'm 48 and I've lost 37 pounds without a trainer or a gym. I'm the best shape I've been in 20 years. Great. That's amazing. And it doesn't take all the fancy stuff. It just take a look at your diet and just get moving. And again, maybe you don't lose weight, but move. because if you sit in the chair, you'll die in the chair. My dad went to the gym 3 times a week just to talk to people after we lost my mom. Then the vid happened. My dad died because he couldn't go anywhere. He just sat in a chair and he died within a year. And we need to keep moving. We're going to be older. We need our body to be ready for longer. Back in the day when we kicked the planet when we were 60, yeah, it didn't matter. But we're going to be older, luckily, and to play with our grandkids and great-grandkids, move. You don't have to lift weight or do anything. Just take a walk or find something fun. Goat yoga, retro dance, whatever could be fun. I walk the dogs for an hour every morning again after dinner. Yeah, great exercise. Dogs are amazing to get you out walking, and you don't have to be out running. Just get your exercise in. Oh, Tom is replaying his last court hearing. Yeah, it's not set till the 13th. Proctor and Adam Lally will be tomorrow, and they have to be done by 2. I believe Proctor has his hearing to get his job back tomorrow. So perfect day for him to testify why he didn't turn over evidence. If I don't eat for 2 or 3 days, I'm getting pretty good shape. Yeah, but that's not healthy either. If I walk my dogs for an hour, I'll be carrying the corgi 20 minutes in. Well, then get a little baby thingy, and then it's kind of like having a weight vest on. Yes, socialization and exercise. We have our gym. That's why my mom did the arthritis thing at that gym. They have people with Parkinson have special classes. They have gentleman gymnastics. It's for senior citizen men because it's really hard to get older men into the gym if they haven't done it. Oh, that's such bullshit. I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger. So they have that. They have water gymnastics for arthritis people. It's a really good gym for having those special groups that has so much benefit from working out. Do you know how ridiculous a dog stroller looks? Yeah, but I didn't buy a corgi. Again, actions and consequences. I've talked about this before, Marissa. You wanted a little short-legged dog that'll make you look funny. Probably sweet as hell, but it will make you look funny. Citizen group is good for Baker. Hey, that's where I meet my future wife. Say your prayers. Take your vitamins. Drink your water. Oh, yeah. I'm not raging on corgis. I said they were the sweet little corgis. Always blaming her husband. Either her husband or Jamie is the one she blames. My 99-and-a-half-year-old lady that had dementia would say I'm not as sitting and vice versa, and would dance at the restaurant when they had a band. Yeah, imagine having, even though you might not be all there, still have joy in life. That's what you want to have. So, yeah. I know. I met some very smart and very nice, but I said that is how people from outside look at Americans. It's the same. You think every French person haven't had deodorant in their life. It's just a stereotype. I do chair yoga with my folks. Yeah, and there's so many options today. But I think I'm going to jump off, going to make myself some dinner. Tomorrow, we'll do the hearing. We're also looking at the Kosiakis case. So a little bit of a busy week potentially coming up. If they get a jury seated, they might start tomorrow, but then we'll catch up because we want to watch the Lally Proctor thing. That'll be at 9 o'clock tomorrow, Eastern Standard Time. And then the Kosaiakis case should start either tomorrow or Wednesday. That's the case where he unalived and dismembered his wife allegedly and went on the run because someone was controlling his life. Sounds like it could be an interesting story. He was a former Navy Jack and potentially unalived his wife because of a $1.5 million divorce settlement. So keep an eye out for that. But tomorrow, Miles King, the wonderful Rosemary Scapiccio, is going to take Adam Lally and show him where the small kids need to go when they have been dumb. So he's going to sit in the corner with the dunce cap. The rest of you need to get out of here and run around on Marissa's roof.
What exhibit are you referring to?
I'm going to make this 100, Your Honor.
All right.
100.
100.
Because it is 100%
100%.
correct.
Objection, Your Honor.
So you literally built a cannon?
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right, I'm in love.
Go back. Please do that again. Oh, that was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
While I'm waiting for this, did you, whether it's true or not, believe that Mr. Randolph had slept with your wife?
I wouldn't care.
You wouldn't have cared?
No,
Did you believe he had slept with your wife?
no.
Did you believe he slept with your mother-in-law?
Probably did. Everybody has.
So there-
Everybody has.